From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman, but with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Good morning. Hoping you're having a good start to your Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. All right, here's the deal. The weather headlines haven't changed much, and they won't over the next several days because we've got cool mornings, mild afternoons in store for us. The winds are expected to maybe return sometime this weekend, and now it's looking more like, say, Sunday, Monday. Take a closer look at that here in a second, and possible rain near the end of the month. I'm beginning to see a little bit more consistency as we get into the last week of this month, that we may start to see more of a shift to a cooler and wetter pattern. Now, at this point, I'm not seeing anything major. I'm not expecting, tons of rain and snow in the mountains, but it's a little bit of hope. And again, it's nothing guaranteed at this point. We've got to keep watching it closely. But in the meantime, let's get you through Krueger's Quickcast here for your Thursday, January 16th. And we're going to start off by getting you out the door this morning. And what you can expect here, of course, mainly clear skies, maybe some fog along parts of the coast. Otherwise, temperatures 20s and 30s for the mountains, and for the coast and the valley, temperatures in the low 40s at 8 o'clock this morning. And of course, looking at mainly sunny skies for everyone with the exception of the coast, of course. All right, let's go and take a look at that satellite image here. And again, we're still seeing that ridge of high pressure in place. All the clouds kind of moving up and over the ridge. Now you'll notice the ridge doesn't look to be quite as prominent as it looked yesterday, where we saw that really nice arc in the clouds, but it's still there. That ridge of high pressure is still going to give us the mainly sunny skies. And of course, those temperatures slightly even above normal for this time of the year. Now the winds, they're not going to be a problem today. In fact, we're generally below 10 miles per hour in most cases here this afternoon and even going into tonight. So for today, sunny skies, temperatures low 60s for the valley, 40s, even some 50s for the higher elevations, and those mid-50s out along the coast, with eventually some clearing here as we take you through the afternoon. Looking at your 7-day outlook, temperatures still slowly ticking down. We're right around 60 over the weekend, upper 50s as we go into early next week. But you'll also notice that as we go into the middle of next week, those temperatures may start to increase again. Again, a sign that we don't have much rain in the forecast anytime soon. Looking at your 7-day outlook for the coast, inland, and for Trinity County, those temperatures also dropping a little bit here before going back up just slightly here towards the middle of next week. And for Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains, it's cooling off a little bit here, especially as we do go into your Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Looks like for places like Susanville, for example, only getting the upper 30s on Monday, generally low 40s though, for places like Mount Shasta and Alturas, and then again a slight uptick in those temperatures by next Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, that is Krueger's Quickcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to stick around for a deeper dive forecast, we're going to get right into it. We're also going to take a look at the current situation with the fires down in Southern California as well. But first, I do want to remind you that there is a free Weather NorCal app. All you got to do is go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, and you've got that local, hyper-local app right there on your phone. All right, let's get to the fire tracker here. And one of the good things that we've been really talking about this week is the fact that we're not seeing any reds, oranges, even yellows on the map here. And what that's saying is that the satellite, at least, thousands of miles up in the air, that is thousands of feet that is in the air. Now that itself, as you can see here, not showing much activity. That's good news. We're also seeing these percentages of the containment begin to really increase as well. All right, so there is still a red flag warning here for today, and that does include just to the north of Los Angeles. This is through today at 3 p.m. Now what you'll notice though, there are no wind advisories or high wind warnings. This is good to see. Now another thing we're going to take a look at here are the winds. Look where the winds are coming from today. They're coming from the ocean. So that's a couple of things. Number one, it's a cooler air that's going to be coming on in. And number two, there's going to be a little bit more moisture associated with it. So the humidity level should start to go up. So as you can see here, the winds are not that big of a factor. Now, look what happens as we go into your Friday. We're starting to see those winds pick back up again. But another thing to take note, Still looking at more of what we call that onshore flow. A little bit more moisture, not quite as warm as you'd get with, say, those Santa Ana winds. So yes, it is gusty. That's not going to help in the current firefighting efforts. However, at least it's not going to dry things out more or even warm things up more a whole lot either. Then we go into Saturday, the winds again overall start to die down. So what we're seeing here, these trends, is that yes, the winds may pick up at times, but it's not more favorable for those fires to really grow. So again, with that onshore flow, that really can help. All right, let's take you back closer to home. In fact, before we get to that though, do want to just kind of show you that fire weather risk here. We're not seeing any major elevated areas of fire weather risk here, even as we go into Friday. It does pick up a little bit when we saw those winds pick up a little bit, even coming in offshore. But then as we go into Saturday, mainly just a lot of green on the map, indicating, again, less in that way of that fire danger. All right. Now we take you back closer to home. Today, generally below 10, even 15 miles per hour here for today. Let's take you into your Friday. Still looking at fairly calm winds. Now, it was beginning to look like that maybe Saturday the winds may begin to pick up. Doesn't look like that's the case. But now it looks like sometime around Sunday into Monday, those winds may begin to pick up a little bit. Nothing major for us here in Northern California. So again, not as prominent when we look at the satellite image. You can't clearly see the ridge of high pressure, but it is there. And you see these clouds right here, see how they're kind of going up and over that ridge of high pressure. We're still left with the mainly sunny skies and of course above average temperatures. So let's take a look at Futurecast, get you through the timing here. So again, you see how we have that ridge of high pressure right here. This area of low pressure right here is going to kind of just sit and spin off over the ocean, but shouldn't have much impact, if any, on our weather here in Northern California through Saturday. Again, there's that ridge of high pressure. We do have winds over here. See the tightly packed isobars? That's where the winds are. It's not over us just yet. Now we go into Sunday and into Monday. As this area of low pressure starts to kind of come on shore, this is going to help to elevate those winds a little bit here as we go into your Sunday and Monday. But you'll notice it doesn't have any rain associated with it, unfortunately. That then kicks on out of here. High pressure builds back in by the time we get to Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So all of this rain right here is going to approach, but it's not going to have much impact on us. Now, if I were to extend this into the end of next week, it would show that this would clip Northern California and maybe bring a chance for showers for parts of the North Coast, maybe parts of Siskiyou and Modoc County as well. Nothing guaranteed at this point, but that could be the beginning phases of some of the changes to more of a cooler and wetter pattern. But until then, it's not being picked up by the Climate Prediction Center. We're still in that drier than normal category. But what we're noticing here, and this is something you may have noticed, these darker shades of brown here indicating better chances of below normal rainfall, smaller chances of below normal rainfall. So as we start getting into these lighter shades of brown, into these tan colors, that's just stating that, hey, you know, if some rain kind of starts heading our way, we could possibly see some wet weather. So again, nothing guaranteed at this point, but do want to remind you that here in Northern California, you know, we've looked at the snowpack. We've looked at, of course, the lake levels. They're all doing great, at least here in Northern California. And that's the case when we look at the seasonal rainfall. Since October 1st, which is when our rain year starts, since October 1st of 2024, you can see Redding, Red Bluff, Eureka, Crescent City, Mount Shasta, Alturas, all over 100% for the season. That's great to see. But as I mentioned, even when we were looking at the snowpack, as you start heading to Central and Southern California, the amount of water is less. As you can see in South Lake Tahoe, only 4.6 inches of rain so far for the season. That's only 56% of average. So yes, we're doing okay, but our neighbors just to our direct south, including the Tahoe region, below normal when we're talking about that rainfall. But again, the reservoirs, as I mentioned, are still looking good. About 125%, give or take, of average for the historical average here for those lake levels. So we're doing okay with our reservoirs as well. Looking at your ski report, no big changes here. Still looking at about 59 inches at the summit out at Mount Shasta Ski Park. Looks like still some pretty good conditions out there, those bluebird days, if you will. All right, taking a look at your wave heights for your Thursday. You can see they're going to be fairly low here for today. By tomorrow, we actually may start to see them begin to increase a little bit here. But overall, no small craft advisories. There is going to be some patchy morning fog here, so just be aware of that if you do need to be on that small boat. There's your winds from the north at about 5 to 10 knots. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures generally in the mid to upper 50s. Still, of course, looking at those dry conditions here over the next 7 days. 58 degrees for High and Blue Lake, 61 for Garberville, 57 degrees in Shelter Cove. And there you can see out towards Gasquet, 58, 61 for Orleans, 59 in Hoopa, and 60 in Willow Creek. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, 51 for Weed, 53 for Mount Shasta City, and 47 degrees in Doris. Modoc County, look for a high of about 50 in Fort Bidwell, 50 in Alturas and Ayden, and 51 degrees in Eagleville. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, still looking at dry conditions here over the next 7 days. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Your temperatures should be in the low 60s for your daytime highs, pretty much anywhere you go. I mean, even 60 degrees for Lakehead, 59 degrees for Whiskeytown, 63 in Bella Vista and Redding, and 63 degrees for Red Bluff. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding, and you can see those temperatures generally around 60 through Sunday. Upper 50s for your Martin Luther King Jr. Day, including Tuesday, back up to 63 by next Wednesday. That's your morning update. I'll be back again at noon. Have a great morning.
Caltrans is doing the best that they can with the amount of people and the amount of equipment they have, and they're out there trying to keep the roads safe and trying to keep everybody running, because if the roads shut down, truck drivers that are paid by the miles aren't making any money. So we want everybody to put chains on for the safety of themselves and the safety of the public. It's not worth it to drive without chains.